What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday to all of you watching us live on YouTube here at The Madness. It is episode 78. Jessica Town, I'm Rob Lange. And, you know, we've said to you for a while now that this year, 2019, was going to be the year of The Madness. And today is where we start hopefully bringing you more big-time stuff. Jess was all over the phones this week, working them left and right. Got us a bunch of guests, and we'll get to that in a minute. Right now, just The Madness brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. You can catch us on Wildfire Radio every Friday morning, 9 to 11. You can also catch us on YouTube live, and then obviously you can catch reruns of the shows and every other show that we do. But Jess, since this was your work this week, since this was your
killing it,
amazing job of killing it, and because as I told you before we went on the air, I can't talk for long stretches at a time as I'm
don't breathe on me too hard either.
Dying right now.
Keep but your breath on that.
I wasn't missing this show. I wasn't going to miss this show. Why don't you tell us who we have coming on today?
Well, so first we are going to have in a few minutes joining us is Remy Ndiaye. He's a player development specialist for the 76ers. And then a little bit later we are going to have our first player interview?
I don't think I've had former player interviews, but nothing of this nature.
So we're going to have Andrew McCutchen come and hang out with us and talk to us for a little bit.
On the phone. He's not going to fly up from Clearwater.
I wish.
To hang out with us. That's not going to go down.
No, not happening. But so it's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
So we are going to bring you a lot of guests, which means obviously we're going to be talking all over the place. Sixers have a big game tonight. Right now in the midst of a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, they are.
Eagles made another move this week and bring in a third safety, one of the positions we said we needed to address. Mm-hmm. And the Phillies are getting close. I mean, it's a week away just about from – it's a week away tomorrow.
Yeah.
From opening day. So they're coming back north, and we'll talk to Andrew and see how the team feels. And, you know, my big question for him, one of the things I'm going to ask him is, you know, he came here and, they added a bunch of pieces, and out of nowhere – well, not out of nowhere, but all of a sudden – Bryce Harper signs, and I'm really curious, like, his reaction.
It was so funny because, I was trying to, communicate with him a little bit to work with him to get on the show, and he said we got on topic of Bryce Harper before Bryce Harper signed when we're just trying to, get him on here, and he was like, regardless of what happens, we'll be fine. And I was like, is that I know something? And we're going to be fine, or it doesn't matter regardless. And he was like, it'll be fine. And I was like,
huh? Now you don't have to.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's
all fine.
You don't have to worry about whether or not you have him because he's here for the next 13
My
years.
jersey shipped today, and I'm so happy about it.
I saw that. My jersey still hasn't shipped.
Well, I couldn't. It said it was going to ship on the 26th, and I got an email this morning that was like, just from FedEx was a tracking number. And I was like, what the hell did I order? I ordered it so long ago, I couldn't remember. So, yeah, I was like, what is this? So I Googled, or not Googled, on my email, I just searched the word shipping. And then there's one from Fanatics right under it that was like, your order has shipped. And I was like, yes. Yeah. So excited.
I don't think I have received any email about anything shipping. By the way, I apologize.
Sounds like a you problem.
You know what? Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Forgive me for the amount of halls that I will probably be eating during the show.
Rob sucks.
Just got to keep it going. Listen.
Rob sucks.
24 hours ago, I was laying in a bed dying. So
I'm happy you made it out.
Oh, I was not. I told you they would have had to chain me to the bed to not get here. I even went to school today.
Proud of you. Because if you don't go to school, you can't do your after school activities.
It's a very true statement. And I have a personal day taken Friday to watch the tournament. By the way,
Jess,
if we have time, it would be nice to talk a little NCAA tournament as it is.
We will try to get there.
One of my favorite times of the year. It's so awesome to watch, and I'm really looking forward to this tournament as all. So, since we're going to be talking to Remy soon, and we're going to be talking Sixers, pretty good stretch for them lately. 5 straight wins, including a hell of a win on Sunday. In Milwaukee, where they've only lost 5 times all year.
Yeah.
Okay? And really, I know that the final score was close, but outside of Giannis being Giannis,
he's so good.
He really is. They really took it to that team.
They did.
And held the lead most of the game there.
Right. And I mean, you know, say what you want about Giannis, but Joel still had 40. And then, you know, Jimmy had, 18, 20, something like that?
Yeah.
JJ had, you know, he was, 4 for 5 from 3? So all of these things are, you know, factoring in. And, you know, he might be doing that, but the rest of the team was also doing these things as well. And I think one of the biggest parts of it is, you know, so obviously they lost Malcolm Brogdon and he's going to be out for, they said 6 weeks, hopefully, on the good side of things, but they also just lost Mirotic.
I heard that on my way in here today.
So they're
limping in.
Yeah, they're limping in a little bit.
Which you know what that means.
What?
That
Please crunch harder into the microphone.
It's going to be a tough show to get through. It's already done. She's enjoying every minute of this.
This is so much
I'm over
fun.
here ready to like pass out. She's enjoying every minute of this.
Don't pass out.
You know, it means that if things play out, you know, and the first 4 seeds make it to the second round, and the Bucks play the Celtics have a better chance to beat the Bucks now.
Yeah.
And that would mean that the whole idea that we don't have to play Boston in the playoffs goes for naught, as we would have to play them in the Eastern Conference Finals if the Sixers were to get past the Toronto Raptors in the second round.
Yes. Which didn't Drake at some award show go out there and say we're gonna win an NBA championship? So that's not happening.
He said that about who?
The Raptors.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Like he went and said, in quote, "we."
Thank God.
Meaning
I
the
thought
Raptors.
you were saying that he said that.
No. That'd be silly considering he's a part owner of the Raptors and from Toronto.
Oh, yeah. He's also worn every other team's jersey known the man.
And they don't win anything.
He's a joke. I don't like Drake.
That's silly.
It's not silly.
I don't know why.
He's a fake fan of everyone.
Except for the Raptors. He's from there.
Okay, good.
All right, well, he's from Canada. What else do you want him to be a fan of that won't be considered a fake fan?
I don't want him to be a fan of Kentucky basketball. That's what I don't want to be a fan of.
What does it matter to you? You're a UNC fan.
Because he wasn't a Kentucky fan until they were winning, and then going in the locker room.
That's how a lot of people do.
He's a jerk.
That's how a lot of people do. And you know.
But you know, a couple things came to me on Twitter today that made me sit back and go, how unfair and illogical have we been to the 76ers this year?
What do you mean? In what way?
And not me and you. I just mean fans of the team.
No, never me. Oh, God. I love my Sixers very, very much.
I just mean fans in general. One of them, your friend from when you covered the game, Kyle.
Yes, Kyle Neubeck.
Put out there, he put in a tweet earlier today, it actually might have been last night, in a season where they started out playing 2 terrible fitting guards together and benched their best shooter, made 2 franchise-altering trades, and had no bench to speak of, the Sixers have 46 wins and the 5th best record in the NBA with 11 games to play. The other stat that came out was the Sixers, Nuggets, and Bucks have played in a lot of tight contests this year. Do you know who has the best winning percentage in games decided by 5 points or less?
The Sixers.
With 5 minutes to go? The Sixers at 70%!
It's not. It's a lie. It's 69%. It's 69 point something percent.
Oh, okay,
Let's
I rounded up.
That's no fun.
So for all this team can't win in the crunch, this team blows so many games, doesn't look that way, does it?
No.
They have 46 wins.
They just have to have something to complain about.
Well,
Everyone
it's because
has
the wins
to
are
have
not
something to
pretty
freaking
enough.
complain
the
about.
wins are not pretty enough.
Like, in an 82-game season, you're not going to blow every team out all the time.
And I don't care if you win by 1 or 50. A win is a win.
A win is a win. And at the end of the day, if you win, you win. Are people going to complain about the NBA championship if they only win each game by 2 points?
If people thought I was bad,
what kind of dumbassery is that?
In the Brett Brown apologist realm before, I've changed my whole style of thinking. I don't care what happens in the playoffs this year. I don't care what happens in the game tonight. I'm not firing Brett Brown.
I don't know why you would fire Brett Brown.
It makes no sense.
I think there can be a better argument if they go out in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes.
I think there can be an argument for it, but I think it's still stupid.
But the argument's going to come if they don't get out of the second round of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but that is silly.
And that I agree with you. I'm looking at these stats, and first of all, right, here's what I've seen. Okay? I've seen a team that blew a lot of games and couldn't hold leads late and lost games a season ago. I now see a team who they might be blowing the leads, but in the end, they find it whatever it takes to win.
Right.
For example, last night without Joel Embiid, right? They were never able to pull away from that team, but when it mattered, they hit shots that they were supposed to do.
And I think a big part of that is people have to remember that, if the Sixers were going to have a throwaway game, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets have everything to play for in every single game because they're 2 games back out of the 8 spot. So they, for every game for the entire rest of the season, every game matters until all 8 spots of the playoffs are locked up. So they are out there fighting for their life when we were just trying to make it through to Boston today. Make it through to today to be able to play Boston, So the fact that they still hung on, they hung tough the entire time, and they competed and went down and won, that's big and should be big in itself because of the fact that, at the end of the day, I wasn't going to be upset if they lost that game last night. I was completely fine with that. If something, if the game was, a 20-point difference going into the fourth quarter, I was a full supporter of sitting Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, JJ Redick, and I'm missing one, Ben Simmons, in the fourth quarter because I want them to win tonight.
And by winning that game last night, though, by finding a way to win that game, you are now 2.5 up on Indiana. Mm-hmm. You're 3 games up on Boston. So, yes, for our psyche, for maybe the team's psyche, tonight's big because you want to beat Boston.
I think it's a huge momentum builder, and it's a huge psychological thing.
But in the grand scheme of things, it would have been a lot bigger if you had lost last night.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay? This team is 21 games over 500. Okay. You got the...
I got the confirmation. He's calling soon.
The confirmation he's calling soon. There you go. So we'll be hearing from Remy Ndiaye, player development specialist for the 76ers. I like his uncle, right? That's what his uncle was Mokhtar Jay, who played on the 1998 North Carolina Final Four team. So I'm a fan.
That. I knew you'd like that.
I'm a big fan of that. And his uncle was also the first player from Senegal in the NBA. So without further ado, we bring on from the 76ers player development specialist, Remy Ndiaye. Remy, thanks for joining the Madness with Jess and Rob.
Oh, man. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Great to talk.
Hey.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah, Jessica, how are you? Sorry about the delay. We were just out here getting ready for the game, but yeah, thank you so much for the invite. Really, really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, just a little game going on down there at Wells Fargo tonight, right? Well, Remy, let's start with, why don't you let the people know exactly what your role is with this team a little bit, what you do on a daily basis down there?
Well, I'm doing play development, and I'm also helping out with video coordinator guys here, and we're on the court pretty much most of the time, and when practice is over, we're in our offices, setting up films and games, and helping out the assistant coaches get ready for games, and most of the time we're do scouting but the main focus is get the guys ready on the court.
So in your role for this season especially, obviously the Sixers have gone through a few different changes. In fact, the other day JJ Redick was interviewed and he said, right now you're seeing Sixers 3.0 on the season. So bringing in different guys from trades and things like that and a lot of movement, how does that impact your role, and what is your role in those trades and getting the team ready, and how does that do those things challenge you in your role with the Sixers?
Well, it's challenging pretty much everywhere you go. You get new guys that from a trade. You actually have to go through all everything that you guys set up since training camp, and trying to explain them the plays and the environment and all that. But it requires a lot of time. But since the trade, we know we have like really good guys and with high IQ, so it wasn't really that much that they asked for, but it's just like their high IQ kind of like led them through the plays and the environment and what coach was really expecting them to do and what the whole organization was expecting them to do once they get here. And it was all positive, and all the guys were ready to help them, and it was fun to work with them, honestly.
Remy, there's been a lot made that the starting five have only played together in 8 games, and as someone who's around these guys a lot, how important is it over these last 11 games of the season for these guys to be on the floor together, playing and forming that continuity with one another out on the floor?
Right. Yeah, it's really important. And when we having guys out with injury was not what we really wanted. But now when we got everybody back, it was a plus for us. So the guys to practice together and play together. So since the playoffs are getting closer, like having them all together on the court was huge for us, and that's what we hope that it's going to keep growing until June when we play the championship.
Absolutely. Remy, when it comes to the two guys that are the faces of the franchise, Joel and Ben, in the time that you've worked with them, how have you seen them kind of adjust to this new side of what the Sixers are? Instead of being this team that's not winning many games, now they're in the spotlight. They're among the top players in the NBA. How have they worked to be able to kind of mature into that role at such a young age and continue to grow as basketball players as well?
I will tell you guys one thing: those two guys are just phenomenal. And then winning or losing, their goals is to get everybody together. They get everybody together during practice. They all want to see the same thing. That's why like every time we practice, there's just like it's not like hey, let's do this, let's do that. Like it's all together. Like, hey, Ben's gonna talk to Joe. Hey, what do you think about this? Joe's gonna talk to Ben. Hey, what do you think about this? That's how they've been leading the team since after we got out of the playoffs last year. Like when they got back this year, they set up the goals that, hey, we're going to do better than last year. And, we cannot let, Boston come to our court and, beat us by a lot of points. So that was their goal. And they've done a great job this year by leading the team and talking to each other and pushing the new guys, the rookies, to be on the same level as everybody else. So that got us like ready for these playoffs coming up. And they're great leaders, to be honest. Being around them is just unbelievable. Smart kids, and not kids, but smart guys. And I'm being around them. Even myself, I learned a lot being around those guys.
We're talking with Remy Ndiaye, player development specialist for the Philadelphia 76ers. And Remy's talking about Ben. I know a lot of people want to focus on the jump shot and that it's not happening in the games yet and all that. But one of the things I've seen is his improvement in finishing at the basket this year and going in strong and not, getting the contact and doing whatever it takes to score and help his team win. Was that a point of emphasis coming into this season after last year's playoffs when he was, kind of taken out of that by the Boston Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a lot of teams. That's what they've been scouting when it comes to Ben, and we all know he's really good at it. He goes to the basket really hard, and some other teams they had issues guarding that, and that's what we want, and that's what we want to focus on right now because he's tough to guard when he goes to the basket. And since last year against Boston, he's been working on that, and he kept going at it all summer, and he worked really hard over the summer for it. And I think right now he's paying off. As you can see, that show, we saw that on the game, the last game against Milwaukee, how he was very presentable on the court, and that's what we want him to keep focusing on, and hopefully he'll pay off during the postseason.
So another one of the guys that's, been in the news a lot, everyone wants to talk about and wants to paint in, whatever light they choose to is Jimmy Butler. And obviously there were a lot of stories surrounding Jimmy over the summer. And, then when he was traded here, there were a couple different things that, people try to take in certain different ways. But, as it appears right now, I mean, I actually ran into Jimmy Butler over the summer in Greece, and he's so super sweet and super sweet to fans. But, people want to look at this in different ways. And I know you have a really good relationship with Jimmy. What do you think are some of the qualities about him that, why the Sixers went out and traded for him and gave up what they did to bring him in here, and, why he's so crucial to what the Sixers are doing and what they're going to need from him down the stretch?
Right. I mean, if you have a guy that's been in the league for a long period of time, and who can really play on both sides of the court, offense and defense. I mean, everybody else would want him on his team. So that was a plus for us when we got him here, and he's been very, very helpful for us, and that's I think everybody knows how Jimmy is. This dude is somebody with a big heart. Like, if you gotta be around him much to know much about that guy. But he's a great dude, and we were in Costa Rica recently, and when we got there, like, automatically people start calling him Lion. He has a heart. He has the heart of a lion, and he likes to compete. And that's the energy that you want, that you want on your team. And that every day, like, it's a competition, and trying to get everybody else better. And that's why, if you have a guy like that, and who's been in the league and who have the taste of the playoffs several times, you really want to keep him on your side for sure.
Hey, Remy, another guy who's obviously been under fire a little bit in this town, shockingly, because that's how Philadelphia is the head coach, Brett Brown. And I've always been curious from the inside what the relationship is like between the players and Brett. I know that he's very outgoing, Brett. He tells the media, what he's feeling and how he feels about certain things. But I'm just curious, is it as close of a player-coach relationship as I kind of think it is? And all that.
Man, let me tell you something. It's not just a player coach thing. It's just it's a family, and he's. I'm not saying this because I'm part of the organization, but I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of him, and his why is because the way he handle things, like when. Having the relationship with the players, having the relationship with the staff, and that creates a positive environment, and that carries on further, because you have a great communication with your staff, and that relates to the great communication with your players, and that triangle is just what we were looking for. And he handles that very well, even off and on the court. Like, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, honestly. And I'm like, his leadership is just, everybody around him are like learning from that, and that's the mentality that he's been sharing with the staff and the players, and that's actually what a great organization is looking for, and everybody around him is a big fan, and we all learn from him. and he's a great dude. He's a great dude, and we all a big fan of him. To be honest, we all a big fan.
So when it comes to, some of the younger guys that we're hoping that we're going to be able to see either, starting in summer league or maybe a little bit, towards the final couple games of the season or next year, who would you say, or have you seen some serious improvements from guys like, Jonah Bolden and Shake Milton and Zaire Smith, how have they, worked throughout the year to escalate their game to an NBA level?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen this in summer league how much they improved. Like Zaire now, he's doing well with the G League, and Shake, unfortunately, he kind of had an injury before, but he just got back, and he's he kept the rhythm same level. That didn't brought him down or anything like that, but he's still in the same level, and and Jonah, I mean, he's been very phenomenal when Joel was out. So because he started for us for a little bit and then was playing behind Amir, and you see the development that's been going on since summer league. And those guys are just they work so hard. They work so hard, and adding to that, Justin Patton. He's also with the G League. Those guys are just they're developing now. And they've learned. They are still learning. And what I like about it is just like their relationship with the veterans, and that's how you can build the connection between the rookies and the vets. So they go ask questions. They go talk to the veteran, ask them questions, and the vet helps them too. And that's what gets them to the improvement right now. And as you can see, I'm telling you, within the next season or next two seasons, like these guys will be, you will hear them soon.
Hey, Remy, obviously we spoke about it in the beginning. It's a big night over at Wells Fargo Center with Boston coming to town. And, I guess the Sixers are 2-17 over their last 19 regular season games against this team. What's the environment like right now around this team? Does it have a little extra boost, or is this team kind of taking that one game at a time approach? No game is bigger than the next.
Well, as it's Boston. They took us out of the playoffs last year. It's not like we owe them anything, but we just getting ourselves ready for the playoffs. So that's how I see it. There's no tension, no stress. Like everybody's relaxed. We're just taking it as a game by, it's like regular game day. We just do our same routine, and we're prepared. We're prepared, and it will be a good game. It will be a good game. But this is Boston. But it's not like we're not putting ourselves in a lot of pressure. It's just we're just doing what we normally do, and we'll be ready to compete, and they will also be ready to compete, and so it's just like it will come up with whoever wants it the most. We'll take it, but we are definitely prepared, and coaches are all prepared. Players are all locked in. No pressure, and just we'll go out there and win the battle.
So, again, for tonight, coming off the second half of a back-to-back tonight, it was a hard-fought game last night till the final seconds. So, the entire team was kind of out there battling for the entire game. Do you expect that to impact those guys at all tonight? I know that's kind of why you guys kept Joel Embiid out last night and saved him for tonight. Do you see that impacting at all, or do you think that, they're ready to go?
No, not really, because the difference with Charlotte is because they were fighting for the spot. They were trying to stay alive to make the playoffs, and that's why they put it all on the line. And Boston is different, and no doubt in my mind they won't make the playoff, but they for sure will make the playoffs. And I don't think they will put a lot of pressure onto themselves, but. With the close game against Milwaukee and Charlotte, it was a little bit. It was different. It was different, and Charlotte, like I said, they were trying to get a spot for the playoffs, and that's why the game had to go like that with a close game. But I hope they'll bounce back against for the next game. But against for the one tonight, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. Like I said, it's like whoever wants it the most. And you have the entire world will be watching, and everybody will remember the series. Like, oh yeah, Boston beat us at the playoffs last year. Oh, is Philly's going to respond? So it's all up in the air, but it's just by the end of the day, it's just both teams on the court, and whoever wants it the most, we'll take it home.
Remy Ndiaye, player development specialist for the 76ers. Listen, good luck tonight. Go get this W and beat these guys from up there. I'm tired of Boston already.
We'll do. Guys are ready, and thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate you being. I've been following, guys, what you've been doing, and I'm really, really proud of you guys. And again, thank you so much for having me today. Well,
thank you, Remy, and hopefully we could talk to you again down the line, maybe when we're getting ready for those NBA Finals in June or something.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, Remy Ndiaye, have a good night, man.
All right, thank you. Bye, guys.
See ya. That was Remy Ndiaye from the 76ers providing a little bit of information. You want to know the biggest thing I got out of all that?
When he said that Ben and Joel love each other and they're such good leaders and they are just great.
No.
What?
That we're doing a great job. No, I'm just kidding. That was just what he said at the
That works too.
That works too. No.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Don't be too quick to pull the trigger on getting rid of Brett Brown because he's loved by everyone in that locker room.
We also talked about this before.
Makes me so mad.
No, and we talked about this before. A big thing that we have said is when you either fire the coach in the middle of the season, it's quitting. And a big part of what the Eagles were able to do, of what the Sixers are currently able to do, is because they are together. They are as a unit, they love their coach, and they work well. If you just pull the trigger on firing Brett Brown, there's a chance that no matter who the hell you bring in next, the players are going to be resentful, and they're not going to respond well to it, and then we've got a dumpster fire on our hands. There's so much more that goes into it than, Joe Schmo on his Twitter being a GM saying that they need to leave, that they need to get rid of Brett Brown. What are you doing right now?
I'm breaking things.
What is the matter with you?
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
It's Sixers Celtics tonight. I am pumped for this game. It sounds like they're pretty excited over there, but trying to keep an even keel.
Yeah.
Unlike us as fans, we will not keep an even keel, obviously. I am just so tired of Boston sports fans.
I just hate Boston.
I'm just so damn tired of it.
I hope my friends from Boston that I talked to earlier today are listening. Love you, but hate everything else about it.
I don't know you, so I don't have to apologize for anything I'm saying. Unless you're big watchers of the show. Thanks for watching. I like you now.
We can be friends. How you doing over there? How you feeling?
I'm wonderful.
Making it?
I'm making it, yeah. But, I heard someone calling to the radio station on the way in here, and they said, if the Sixers lose by 5 points or less to the Celtics tonight, it's on Brett Brown, and he's got to be fired.
That's silly.
That's silly because 70% of the time they win those games. Mm-hmm. So that's really a stupid comment, you jackass. I'll put it out there for everyone to hear. Yes, we all want to see them beat the Celtics tonight. We all want to see that. But the main reason we want to is for our psyche over anybody else's. At the end of the day, what are you? You're just typing.
I'm trying to interact with our viewers.
Oh, we have viewers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very nice.
I'm listening to you. Continue your thought.
I know. It was just like I'm hearing it here.
Sorry.
And I'm like, but I didn't see the keyboard.
Oh, yeah. I have
so
it
I was
here.
like, is she just tapping her nails on the table?
Yes.
I don't know what the hell's happening.
No, I was not going to do that.
Okay.
That's aggressive.
That was very aggressive.
It's super aggressive. My nails on the table are aggressive.
I've lost my train of thought here.
Sorry, we were talking about the Sixers and not firing Brett Brown.
And then I was saying, this game is big from the standpoint that there's 11 games left in the season. You want to continue to win. You want to continue to solidify yourselves as in that 3 spot. Even though I keep saying to myself, it's funny. It's like if you get the 3 spot, you got to play Toronto, who has a lot of depth. Whereas if you get the 4 spot, you're playing Milwaukee, who doesn't have a lot of depth. I mean, you don't want to lose on purpose here. You want to try and get your best seeding possible. I'm just, if you were to ask me, who are you more afraid of in the East, Milwaukee or Toronto?
Yeah.
It's Toronto because Milwaukee is Giannis and then
nothing else.
Chris Middleton.
That's exactly
nice player.
And that's what Joel Embiid said. He was like, Giannis is going to do his thing, but if we get out on the rest of their shooters, they can't beat us.
Don't think
and take care of the damn basketball.
Don't think that their game plan wasn't let Giannis be Giannis.
I think that's exactly what it was, and I think Joel Embiid actually told us that post-game.
I mean, everyone's like, oh, they couldn't even defend him.
And you know who gets credit for coming up with that game plan?
The players. It was all the players.
Obviously.
Because they're 46-0, the players.
Yes.
Billy Lang, the guy I ripped last week. But no, like I've literally heard people sit there and go, oh, I mean, they still let Giannis score 52. The fact is they won a game in Milwaukee with Giannis scoring 52 points.
Giannis is going to get his. It's going to happen. I don't know why of all of the people that there's like 11 people that have had 50-point games this year, and I think 3 or 4 of them happened against the Sixers. It was like Kemba had his 60, Blake Griffin had his 50, and
I'm not going to be naive.
Giannis had his 50. There was another one that I saw too, and I was like, and that was also against the Sixers. Might have been D'Angelo Russell.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But no, like, I'm not going to be naive and say that's always their game plan, because it's obviously not. But they, listen, the Sixers, and Mike Missinelli has been adamant, friend of the show, I should say, as we've had him on, friend of the show, Mike Missinelli, has been adamant in saying the Sixers have 5 guys who you have to concern yourself with on a nightly basis.
Yes, with all very different talents and skill sets.
Last night, they won a game where their starters play close to 40 minutes of the game. That's what the playoffs are going to be like. You hope. Yeah. If they're not, then we got to talk about our rotations.
And you had how many? 4 of them were in the 20s? You
had only 14 points come from your bench last night, all from one guy who, by the way, has won the tournament.
I think that's been pretty clear for like a week now.
But
my mom just texted me and said, I'm listening. Can you wave to me? So, hi, Mom.
Oh, that's nice. Can I wave too?
Yeah,
I'll wave too.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. How are you? But, Mike Scott's not going to go 0 on most nights.
No. That was sad.
TJ McConnell is only going to play, I'm telling you right now, 7 minutes in the playoffs a game. I can't see him getting any more than that. Because he
shouldn't get any more than that.
At one point last night, Ben went out, and in under a minute, he was back in because Jonah Bolden fouled for the 8. Can that guy not foul?
That's my biggest concern with him. I love his game. I love the energy he brings, but he needs to learn how to not. And Joe and I were actually talking about this yesterday. We have become increasingly impatient with it as we get down this final stretch and going into the playoffs. It becomes a lot less tolerable. In the beginning of the season, it's like, all right, you love the minutes he's giving you. He's got a lot of energy. He's hitting threes, blocking shots, and that. But he gets in foul trouble really quickly. At this point, like I can't deal with it. And I find myself feeling the same way almost a little bit about TJ McConnell. Like I get nervous every time he comes on the court now, and I don't want to feel that way because I love TJ. But the 7 minutes and Jonah Bolden, I feel as though Jonah's not gonna see much time in the playoffs. I feel.
No, but I will say this, and you saw this last night. When it's a smaller team, you can't play Boban. And Brett saw that last night, and that's when he went to the Amirs and the Jonas. So
should we give some credit for Brett Brown for doing that?
No, that was the player's decision.
Okay. Boban chose to do that to himself.
Yes, okay. Boban said, please bench me. I cannot play against these guys.
Can you do it with the accent?
I can't. Not right, especially not right now. Boban pulled a Ryan Gosling, and remember the Titans. He's too fast with me. I can't stick with him. No, I did not come this far to see us lose on my account. You have to play Petey. That was the whole line.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So you might see Bolden in the playoffs. You might see Amir Johnson. It's going to be a game-by-game basis. Yeah. Now, tonight, can Boban play tonight? I don't know. Because both of the centers from Boston stretch the floor. Both guys go out. Al Horford shoots a 3. Did I mention how much I hate him now? He's like a thorn in my side, that guy.
Really? Because you couldn't understand why I had him on my list.
Well, I just hate him because you're thorn in my side. I don't think he's a bad person like you probably did.
No, I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like his face.
How's Dak Prescott doing these days?
I don't like his face either.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
Did you see his dog bit like a second person? He's gotten warnings about his dog biting people, and it just bit another person, so they might have to put the dog down. Carson Wentz's dog would never.
Carson Wentz's dog goes and eats ducks. Let's not act like Carson Wentz's dog is
It's
a
a
nice
hunting
thing.
dog. That's on purpose. It goes and gets. He shoots the duck, and the dog goes and gets the duck and brings it back to him. It's a hunting
Oh,
dog.
by the way, I found some more memes. I'm really excited.
Memes about what?
Just anything. I'm hoping one fits tonight.
Oh, you mean the sound bites?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's not a meme. You're showing your age over there a little bit by calling that a meme.
These would be...
Okay, so when I said sound bites, you said no?
I'm sorry.
Okay, anyway. What were we talking about? Not liking Al Horford's face, not liking Dak Prescott's face. Can we just talk about what the Eagles have done, and let's compare it to the Dallas Cowboys, who have no defensive lineman except for the one who
Talk about a shift real quick.
You were talking about Dak Prescott, and I was just like, well, let's talk about the fact that they've done nothing. No, we can continue with the Sixers. Let's continue on that.
Because we do have to have a debate, I think. I'm surprised you haven't attacked me yet, since you attacked me on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I don't like you very much at this point in time. I think that's a stupid opinion.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
They paid $5 million for a guy who had 330 yards last year.
How many yards did our buddy Nelson have last year?
I have no idea.
You want me to find out? I'll find out. And you tell me a little bit about your Sixers as I'm finding out.
What about my Sixers?
I don't know.
Sixers are going to beat the Boston Celtics tonight, and it's going to be a
You are that guaranteed that they're going to beat.
I'm confident. I feel good. I'm not going to lie. I feel good. I feel really good coming into this.
Why do you feel really good?
I just think it's time. They're due to beat them. They're going to do it. I think they're a different team than with Kyrie than they are without Kyrie, and we don't have to play the team without Kyrie this time.
They don't have Gordon Hayward tonight, huh?
They don't? Great, because he decided he was going to return to form against us last time.
I think somebody told me he was out. We need to check that. But
yeah, I don't. Can someone of our viewers Google that for me so I don't have to? Someone figure out if Gordon Hayward and put it in the YouTube chat here. If Gordon Hayward is gonna be in here or not.
Now listen.
Yeah.
I might have to stand corrected here a little bit.
You probably should.
We all talk about how good of a year Nelson Aguilar had in 2017, where he had 62 catches for 768 yards.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now. Keep talking.
And 8 touchdowns.
Keep going.
Now, he only had 4 touchdowns last year. And in his other 3 seasons, excluding 2017, he only has 7 touchdowns combined. But he did have 730 yards receiving last year. He did average 11 yards a catch. He actually had 2 more receptions. Okay. Maybe he should stop bitching about his quarterback then.
You're right. I agree with that. I will agree with you with. But if you think that they should have let him go just to sign Randall Cobb
that was
for
not the
$5 million,
point I was making. The point I was making is you can sign slot receivers for less money. Your boy, who you were so excited when he came back, who you couldn't wait to bust out the jersey when he came back, signed a $1.8 million contract.
Because he's not as good as Nelson Aguilar. He's not.
Okay. But all I'm saying is...
And he's not as good as Randall Cobb either.
Now, I don't know if this... The phone's ringing. Should we try it?
I guess.
I'm afraid to answer this phone right now.
Answer the phone.
Okay. We are answering the phone. Who are we speaking with? We are speaking with no one.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
All right.
Hang up on that person, whoever they are.
They hung up.
Okay, great. Anyway, so I just think that, there's such a high upside on Nelson Aguilar, and we've seen the high upside that I don't, and the fact of the matter is we still have like $28 million in cap room. Like, so that $9 million is not making or breaking anything because they've got it figured out. They've had a plan from the beginning. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to chill the hell out about friggin' $9 million that clearly is being allocated where the Eagles think they should allocate it. Like, my only thing is, like, when I say when we talk about the blind trust in Howie, my thing is every move is the best move. And I just think that it should be talked about objectively. And I think obviously that's what we're doing. But at the end of the day, like, until we get to the season and we see if something's not working, you know, we're not going to know. Did you just hear that noise? That was my stomach. Did you hear that?
I did. I just assumed it was just a noise that was out there.
No, that was my stomach. I'm super hungry.
The hell was that?
I'm hungry.
We got an alien growing in there?
No, I'm just hungry.
Jesus. Like, your stomach is down here, the mic is up here, and that came through as clear as day. Like, it sounded like I used a sound
really
bite.
Loud noises.
It sounded like I used a sound bite there. I'm flabbergasted right now.
I'm sorry. My stomach just likes to talk sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. That was pretty loud. I didn't realize how hungry I was until that happened. I'm pretty hungry. Anyway.
What were you talking about before that?
I was talking about Nelson Aguilar and how I just think that, you know, give him we saw what happened when he had a quarterback with the full off season and they were working and everything was fine. Let it happen again.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't like the quarterback anymore, so maybe we won't have it again.
The quarterback was only throwing to one person, and I think that's something we can all agree on.
Because no one else was open.
I agree.
Do you, though?
I think it'll be fine. Me? You should probably turn that up next time.
Well, you didn't give me the thingy-mabobber. You didn't bring the thingy-mabobber for me.
I have it. Do you want it?
I mean, that would be cool so that I could play some sound bites from now and again.
It is.
You know, look, all I was trying to say before you decided to come at me in the world of Twitter, like you so tend to do.
That's because you tweet dumb things.
No, I don't. I tweet logic constantly. I tweet logic.
It's not always logic.
All I was trying to say.
It's dramatic.
Oh, my God. Here we go. I'm dramatic, yet you got irate over a jersey that said
We're going to talk about that later.
You got irate.
We're going to talk about that later, I promise.
Somehow
I was told that when I yell into the microphone, it's piercing of the eardrum, so I'm going to try not to do that.
Yeah, how do you think I feel with the freaking headset on?
I'm sorry.
You're an idiot.
Just letting you know. All right, so you want to talk Eagles now? Let's talk Eagles. Yeah, sure. Now. All right. What the hell are they doing at running back?
They're going to draft Josh Jacobs.
So we're just going to hope that a rookie can come in and just do it.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Silence, Earthling!
That was an accident. I didn't actually mean to hit that, but it kind of worked because I want you to be silent. That's not what I wanted to hear.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Then why do we have $28 million? I
don't know.
Why set all these contracts up if they're not going to sign anything else?
I don't know.
You're not helping the cause here.
I don't know, because here's it's never the big splash. It's never the big name. So I don't know what it's going to be because until it happens. Like, I don't know until it happens. And then we'll all go, that makes sense. That I get it now. I understand. So there's something there. I don't know what it is. I heard a rumor they were in talks with the Niners to trade for Matt Breida.
Yeah, that came out and then disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're still talking about it, but
wow, Trevor Siemian stays in the league.
Amazing.
The Jets, 1-year deal to be the backup.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Got the Jets.
Have fun up there, Le'Veon.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy your time.
Look. I don't think that the Eagles are going to draft a running back in the first round. It's not them. It's not this group.
Apparently, they love.
I know.
Jacobs.
Jeff Mosher said it.
But he also might still be there in the second round. That's what they're going to figure out.
I don't know. Adam Kaplan, who normally is tapped into the draft, said he would be stunned if he doesn't go somewhere in the 20s.
Well, guess who's somewhere in the 20s?
Yeah, I'm aware. Okay, I'm aware.
Just making sure.
But I don't know if they have to sign someone. You can't just go in with Josh Jacobs, Corey Clement. I think part of this is I don't want to watch Wendell Smallwood anymore. I
know you don't.
I'm over it. And
he didn't play poorly at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm over him.
Okay.
I'm totally over him.
All
And even though he tried to come out and back it up, I believe he was another one of the sources for Joe Santoliquito. Yeah.
What an idiot. What an idiot that guy is.
Didn't really work out for him either. He had his 15 minutes of fame, and we haven't heard from him since.
It's because he made his Twitter private. Think about that. Think about how much we use Twitter to like promote and make our name. He is private on Twitter now because people attacked him so much.
Well, people went over the line.
I have more followers on Twitter than Joe Santoliquito.
Yeah, people went over the line.
Oh, 100%. Let's not act like they did.
Speaking of your followers on Twitter, tell your damn followers.
I do. What do you want from me?
It's all about you, Jess.
What?
Gonna get a left tear.
I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, I need a break of talking. That's
what okay. We can talk about how Haloti Nada retired because I thought that was one of the coolest things of all time.
Very good retirement.
I liked that. I figured he was going to retire, and I was wondering why we hadn't heard it yet. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a pretty cool way to go out.
On top of Mount Kilimanjaro.
On top of Mount Kilimanjaro with Bo Allen, Jason Kelsey. He didn't play with Bo Allen, but still. Chris Long. That's pretty cool. Did you see the Eagles have an offer on the table for Jimmy
I was just going to say, where did that come from?
I forget who said it.
But I saw that today. Like I said to you before, I thought that this was going to happen at some point. I don't know if he'll come back.
That's where the $28 million is going.
I swear to God, if they give this guy any more than like $2 million, I quit.
That was a joke. That was a funny. Come on, that was a funny joke.
Yeah, it was great. You're hysterical.
I know I am. I think I'm funny.
We all know that you think you're funny. No one questions that.
Joe thinks I'm funny.
Joe did not find you funny with the text message chain you put out on Twitter today. Joe was damn sure annoyed with you in that text message chain that you put out today.
I was so mad because I was like, you ruined it. I had one text left to send because he said, please stop. And all I had left was the 76ers. And I was like,
can I ask what you were doing in that moment that you felt the need?
The game had just ended.
So you just felt the need to send that text?
And I went, play the song. And he went, excuse me? And I said, here they come, everybody.
Oh, no. I know what you were doing. I just want to know where your mentality was to do that.
We were texting throughout the game, and the game ended, and I was excited. Right? That's where my mentality was.
Jess.
Because if we were together, I would have just sang the song. But we weren't.
He probably would have been less annoyed with you singing the song.
He just
rather
gets
than
fed up.
Sending 13 text messages. I mean, that's data. That's data.
Well, I was on Wi-Fi.
I was on Wi-Fi.
I thought it was funny. And actually on my way here, I said something. And he was like, you're funny. I know.
See, that's the cute dating part of a relationship.
We've been together for 6 years.
Yeah, no. But once the rings go on and all that, you're no longer allowed to tell the other person that they're funny. You know how many times my wife laughs at everything I say, but then she's like, "Yeah, you're really not that funny." It's like, you're lying. You're lying, and I don't know.
You're not that.
And
funny.
I don't. Oh no, I'm hysterical. And you want to know how I know? Because the only two judges that matter in this world will tell you every day of the week who the funniest person they know is.
Oh, Ellen Ariana.
And that's Daddy. I'm the funniest.
That's fantastic.
I win all the time. Like Alyssa will try and get them to say, "Who's funnier, Mommy or Dad?" They go, "Daddy." Like, it's not even a thought process. I'm damn funny. You saw my costume earlier in the week.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm a funny guy.
That was pretty good.
And if I wasn't dying yesterday, my costume yesterday would have been even better.
What was going to be yesterday?
It was Tacky Tourist Day, and I was going all out.
Yeah.
I was going all out. Now, today was just mathletes versus athletes. Spirit Week in high school, you know. So I just wore this jersey. Tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. So I got a couple different options going out there. I'm excited. Okay. One, I have recently found my freshman football jersey. Now, there is a little problem with that. I was quite smaller back then. So I don't know if this one... Now, it was made to go over shoulder pads and be bigger, so it might fit. But I'm a little afraid to go that route. Not going to lie to you.
Okay.
If that one doesn't work, I'm going to really throw it back to my 1973 Harold Carmichael jersey and rock that. I'm a little disappointed because all I wanted was old school Eagles Zubaz pants, and I can't find them anywhere.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Amazon?
Yeah, I won't be able to get them in time now, and they didn't have them anyway.
No.
It's a little disappointing.
I was going to say you could order them on my Prime account and get them on time.
But it's tomorrow.
Oh, I guess it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking it was Wednesday.
No, you weren't.
That's on me.
And then Friday is a personal day for me. I will not be going in for the pep rally that I hate with a passion.
See, it pains me to hear you say that because I was a cheerleader. Pep rally was my life.
Yeah, no, the cheerleaders are so small part of our pep rallies.
Oh, we were.
And this one, all the kids form these games, and they basically try and pull out teachers and embarrass them in front of the whole school. And I already did that when I played in the student faculty basketball game.
Yes, you did.
It was not a good game for me.
No, it wasn't.
Did not go well. How do you know? You didn't even see it.
You told me about it.
I did tell you about it. It did not go well.
Yeah. Brutal.
All right, so that was our little break in the action. We are about 40 minutes or so away.
Yeah.
From, fingers crossed, Andrew McCutchen. The game did end. They lost today 3-1. So,
yes. But it was announced that he's batting leadoff.
One of my questions for him.
I got some ones over here.
One of my questions for him is how he feels about that role. Is he excited about that role? What kind of damage does he feel? As you know, Andrew McCutchen doesn't come off as like the most. He got a little swagger to him, I think. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of that swagger out on the air from him today.
He had more with the dreads.
He did. Well, I mean, what I found to be really interesting is everyone's like, Andrew McCutchen, the naysayers of the move.
Right.
He's at the end of his career and this. And yes, he's had a 10-year career, but he's 2 years younger than me.
Is he?
He's 32.
Is he?
According to what I looked up today.
I believe you.
Now, yeah, I could have got a bad website, but apparently Andrew McCutchen is 32 years old. And I'm going to overview this to see if I can find this. If you want to talk while I'm doing this, because my voice hurts.
Oh, you poor baby.
Shut up.
One of our viewers just informed me that I am funny. So
family doesn't count.
It's not family.
Who is it?
It's Brayden.
Is that a friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't count. I didn't say you weren't funny. I wasn't trying to say you weren't funny, but you attacked my funny, so I had to come back at you.
Yeah, well, I am funny.
Sounds great.
I'm really funny, actually. But what were we talking about? The Eagles? Were we talking about the Eagles?
McCutchen!
Oh, we were talking about McCutchen. Right, that's my bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. It's a little unfortunate he didn't make the Sports Illustrated cover.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of rude.
That's messed up that they wouldn't have put him on there.
And Gene Segura, I think both of them absolutely deserve to be on the...
Well, it looked like they put
the big names on.
But they put two guys that were already here, and then they put the two big trade and sign. I mean, McCutchen, we always said, I always thought it was a good signing. I wasn't, running around, my house.
I wasn't running around and jumping up and down the exact way that I did when Bryce Harper signed, but I was excited about it.
I wasn't running around when Bryce Harper signed either. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I was looking at my baby on pictures at that time.
I remember that.
There was no running around. I was running around inside.
I ran around. There's that clip of John Cena in the Phillies jersey and Phillies hat, coming out of the tunnel. That was very accurately me.
Yeah, it's just 32 years old.
Walking around my office. But no, I was excited when he signed here because he had one of his best years last year batting leadoff for the Yankees, so why not?
Yeah, and
Come join the party, my dude.
Yeah, and what I liked was how when he signed, that he said it was awesome to feel wanted. He felt wanted by this front office. Look, I never used to buy into that crap. I used to get mad when it was like, oh, these guys want to be loved and coddled, but that's just what it is now. And I'm not saying Andrew McCutchen this way, but
I don't think that's what it is. I think you want to go and play for a franchise that doesn't see you as just another piece to the puzzle.
Right,
who doesn't see you as being disposable. And I think that's why Tobias Harris is going to sign here and why he enjoys being here, because this was the first time that in a trade, he was what someone was pinpointed and said, I want you. And that's what I think. I think it's an important boost.
He better stop airballing those threes, though.
Apparently he was sick last night.
I did catch that later. Yeah, you could tell he wasn't.
23 points.
Yeah, but you could tell he still wasn't.
He wasn't feeling like himself.
Shooting wise, he wasn't himself.
But I just think that I don't think it's that they want to be loved and God. I think that confidence in them gives them confidence to perform instead of having that looking over your shoulder like, am I going to be traded tomorrow? Are they going to cut me tomorrow? Like, not having that feeling, I just think is a big part of it. And I think that's a big part of what's going to help give Maikel Franco a boost this year, because he's not looking over his shoulder like, they're trying to sign, they're trying to sign Manny Machado to put him at third and get me out of here. Like, having that confidence in your role gives you so much more, because instead of worrying about all these outside things, you just worry about playing baseball.
Yeah, and I guess what I meant was I was never this big believer in the environment has to be this
Sure.
but the more it does now. I mean, it really does. It plays a pivotal role. But it's funny you bring up Maikel Franco. I forget which show. It might have been Farzetta. Had John Smoltz on this morning. It's like my 8th call strap of the day.
You're killing it. You're doing great.
I'm dying. I told you.
Just don't crunch it in the microphone the way you did it. See, that was not cute. That was not pleasant.
I'm not out here to be cute, okay?
I am.
Well, you know what, Jess? It works for you. This guy balding overweight, that don't work for me no more.
I'm sitting here wearing a shirt that has a picture of myself on it.
Yeah, very egotistical. Well, what are you going to do?
Nah.
Hey, I meant to ask you. This is
case too. Killing it.
By the way, did you get my vote?
I got your vote. And do you want to know how the votes played out? You want to know?
I know that I lost, but I did it for no
by
reason.
a lot, okay? There were 40 people that voted. And the vote was, is it wrong of me to have purchased a phone case with a picture of myself on it? It's not just a picture of me. It's a thing with the madness on it. And it says...
Picture of herself.
It said yes or no. 6 votes for yes, 34 for no.
Who were the 6 no votes?
So it was you,
yes,
Barry, my friend Cullen, who I assume 2 people who just follow me, I don't know who they are, and my sister, because my sister's a jackass.
Like me.
I love her. But last night I had okay, so when I bought Joe
me and your sister would get along.
Yeah. When I bought Joe the sweatshirt, the Zazzle order was all messed up. I think I talked about it on This Is Madness at one point. Well, they sent me a whole second order, so I have another sweatshirt. So I just put it on like over a pair of boxers to wear to bed last night. I was laying on the couch watching TV, waiting for them to get home so I could go to bed, and she came home and like made fun of me for everything I had on, and I was like, just leave me alone.
Wait a minute. Wait. Why were you laying on the couch waiting for them to go home so you could go to bed? Why couldn't you just go to bed?
I don't like going to sleep when I'm home by myself. I really hate it. I really don't enjoy it at all. Freaks me out.
Oh, man.
So that was who voted yes. But included in the no's are lots of, friends, people who support me, and Hollis Thomas. So the tribe has spoken over here.
Unlike me and your sister, who just wanted to mess with you.
Hollis Thomas supports me.
Me and your sister decided to say, yes, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, you guys
Jess, I
suck.
support you, Jess.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm very supportive of you, Jess.
Sure you are.
I'm very supportive.
But yeah, that's the poll from the day, and you lost. You lost.
Where were we going with this?
We were talking about the Phillies and Maikel Franco.
That's it. John Smoltz was on. I think it might have been Farzetta this morning. And they were talking about Maikel Franco and basically how, he could have a breakout year where last year there was a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, that's my
to
point.
be the guy. Now he's going to hit down at 7 or 8 in the lineup. And he could just play. He could just go play baseball, which is what he's done his entire life, and hopefully turn around. Odubel Herrera. Look, I'm still not sold on the guy. I'll make that very clear. The guy drives me nuts. But maybe having the veteran leadership around him kind of gets him more in gear with everything.
He doesn't have to be in that role. Mm-hmm. Which I think is, I just don't think that was his role.
And I love that your lineup is basically going to go McCutchen, Segura, Harper, Hoskins, Realmuto, Hernandez, and then
Franco and Odubel, or
then Herrera and Franco, or Franco then Herrera, and then pitcher. And I love hearing Gabe say, "I'm not going to have to tinker like I did last year." Like he's going to set a lineup.
So happy.
And he also gave a bit of interesting news today.
What?
Said that second game of the season will not be pitched by Jake Arrieta. He will pitch the third.
Interesting.
Nick Pivetta is going to take the mound. Now, he had an outing today.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's
been playing really well.
Apparently, he was pitching very, very well today. Jim Salisbury even tweeted out, could be a really breakout year for this kid. That could be very helpful to them if they can get a Pavetta. And I don't think Velasquez will ever be the guy they need him to be. I think you have to hope more for the Eflins of the world, and maybe
Not
a Jared
the Eflins of the world. Eflin.
and the Jared Eichhoffs of the world. I'm just so hurt.
Hilarious.
You're not. You. If having to make fun of me every 5 seconds is hilarious, you're not hilarious.
Just can't help it.
Oh, I just have such a make fun of face. Is that what you're going to say
No,
next?
I haven't made fun of your face.
Oh my God, you missed the point. You missed the point totally.
Anyway, no, yeah, that's interesting to me. But hey,
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess we'll see what Gabe sees. I don't know. We'll see
You're
what's
such a
there.
hater of Gabe.
I'm not. I've told you this before. The only thing I have against Gabe is the fact that the way he talks to the media sometimes, the way he talks about things, it feels like he's just being fake and talking to the fans as if they are stupid and don't understand what's going on right in front of them. The over-the-top positivity makes me feel like he's talking to a bunch of children instead of a bunch of grown adult fans who can see with their own 2 eyes what the hell is going on. I don't have a problem with the way he is as a manager. I had a problem with him taking Aaron Nola out after 5 innings last year in the first game. That I had a problem with. I don't have a problem with the way he operates because I think he's just trying to figure it all out. And obviously, like, that's what needs to happen, you know? And I think now that he has all the talent that he has, like he said, he doesn't have to tinker with it. He doesn't have to worry about that this time. I have nothing against Gabe Kapler as a manager. I don't have anything against him. I am excited to see how it goes this year. That is my only problem with it. I don't have a problem with him as a manager of the Phillies. I just don't like the way that he tries to spin things in such a positive light to the outside world because it makes me feel like he just is like I don't know. I am a realist and I can see what's happening in front of me. And I go back to this same, because this is the one that really sent me over the edge. I come back to this every time we have this conversation. There was a game when Eflin let up 4 runs in the first 3 innings. 4 runs. And they asked him Kapler about it after the game. And Gabe sits there and goes, well, I think he had really good command over the strike zone. And I think he did a lot of things positively, but we can't just focus on letting up 4 runs. You lost the game 4-0. Don't talk to me like I'm dumb and didn't see what just happened.
They could have scored 5 runs.
They could have, but they didn't. But don't go in there and
No,
say,
I know what you're saying. I'm just
like, that's the stuff that really, really bothers me. As a manager, I don't have a problem with him at all.
I think as a
We'll
fan
see
base,
how we go.
I think as a fan base, we were mildly quick to judge, and I put myself in that. I mean, you know, looking back, hindsight's 2020. There's no way he should have been booed at the home opener last year.
You know, that was bad.
I mean, 3 games in this or 6 games into coaching. I think we were a little bit unfair in how quickly we judged him, and you would think we'd learn how quickly we judged Doug Peterson, how stupidly we judged Brett Brown. I mean, you name it. I mean, shoot, we did it to Andy Reid. And I know that people still want to rip Andy Reid, but in the moment, we were really enjoying that age of football there for a little while. Charlie Manuel was ripped. I mean, people wanted him fired after the first year or 2. Obviously, he gets us a World Series. So, yeah, and now he's one of the most beloved figures in this town's history. So, I mean, I think, look, what I want to see is him not try and overthink things this year.
Right.
Not try and let analytics dominate the world. I'm okay with the use of analytics. Mm-hmm. I'm not okay when they start using analytics over the eye test or over, just playing baseball. And I'm actually going to ask, Andrew, when he gets on the phone with us here in about 25 minutes, I'm going to ask him, as a guy who's been around this game for 10 years, 11 years, what are your feelings about analytics? How do you feel about these things?
I thought you were going to take one of my questions just there, and I was about to be like, no!
What question's that?
I want to ask him because, like we were just talking about, I think that we have been really quick to jump down Gabe Kapler's throat, and I think that the fan base is still kind of split on, how to feel about Kapler as a manager and just in general. And I think I want to ask him, what do you guys see that maybe we don't see that, gives you guys the confidence that he is the guy to,
Good question.
get them where they need to go. And I didn't want you to steal that from me because I thought it was a good question.
I'm not going to steal your question.
And it's not like a trap question. I'm not trying to get him to say it. I genuinely want to know. And I think I'm probably not the only one that wants to know.
So as I said, excuse me. As I said, Andrew McCutchen will be joining us in about 25 minutes from now, as long as everything works out, getting out of the clubhouse and all that kind of stuff. As they did play a game today, they lost 3-1, so they can only have another week, not even a week of games left. A few games left before they head back up and get ready for the Braves on the 28th.
That's a good day. They play, and then the Sixers play right after.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun be at both game type of thing.
Yeah, if I didn't have to teach on Thursdays, I was going to make that happen. But I have to teach, so that's not happening.
I just don't have money to do that.
That too?
That plays into it.
Dollars.
And I'll be going to the game on Saturday instead to see apparently Nick Pivetta pitch. This is The Madness, brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. Catch us on WildfireRadio.com every Friday morning, 9 to 11. Is the podcast. You can also catch us on iTunes if you search The Madness of Rob Lange. Catch us on YouTube. Go to the Pro Sports Notes channel. We are live streaming right now, but you can also catch this episode and any other episode, as they will all be saved into that channel. Follow us, Twitter.
Everywhere.
At Philly_Madness, at Run This Town with an E13. Instagram, at Philly_Madness. What's your Instagram if you want to put it out there?
My Instagram is at Jessica_town, TOWNE with an E. I figured I'd keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent.
And
I think I'm just at Lange84 on the Instagram, in the Instagram world.
On the Instagram. On the
line. It's outrageous.
LOL. On the line. It's one of the best lines
LOL?
of all time. I did.
I can't believe you just said LOL.
Why not?
Well, disappointed with you.
Let me be. Let me live. Let me live my life. Let me live my life the way I like to live my life. And that is saying LOL out loud when I feel necessary.
But do you understand by saying LOL, you defeat the purpose of LOL?
What?
You said you want to say LOL out loud.
How does that
So you want to say laugh out loud?
But I'm not laughing out loud. I just said LOL. I'm not actually laughing.
Well, then it's fake because LOL means that you're laughing out loud.
You know what?
and
You're just really ruining this for me right now. You're really ruining these 10 seconds here.
That's what I'm here for.
In my life. That's rude.
That's what I'm here for, is to ruin people's lives.
All right. You're a life ruiner. You ruin people's lives. What is that from?
Wow.
What is that from?
I don't know.
It's from a movie.
I'm hurt right now.
No, it's from a movie. I wasn't just saying that to you.
Yeah, you guess what?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Because of you. Because of you. I'm now in a glass case of emotion.
Okay.
I'm hurt.
Okay.
All right, we got 20 minutes. I want to talk a little NCAA tournament, no?
We can do that.
You don't like talking the NCAA tournament?
We can do that.
Are you a college basketball fan?
We've
never had this discussion.
I don't go out of my way to seek it out and watch it.
Okay.
But I don't not enjoy watching it. I don't enjoy watching crap games. I enjoy sitting and watching good games that are enjoyable. Like, I don't just like sitting and, like there's not a team that I follow that I will sit and turn on every game. Unless Delaware's playing, but they suck, so that's not happening. So they never play anywhere. Yeah, so like Joe likes to turn on like all the Villanova games. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't really feel like sitting and watching Villanova play some irrelevant team right now. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. But I love March Madness. I love watching the games.
Like, do you watch the tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't.
Do you do brackets?
Yeah, I don't sit and like watch. Like, I'm not going to take a personal day on Friday to sit and watch all the games.
That's not even nice. That's not even necessary.
But I mean,
this is gonna blow my spot up like that
you
on
already
air.
Said that.
You have told everybody to go away.
But you've already said it on air.
Well,
that's on you. But I think, I really enjoy it. I did my brackets today. I'm excited to see
How many
what happens.
brackets?
I've done 2 so far, but I keep them all the same because I can't keep track of it otherwise. It's too much for me.
So if you lose one, you lose them all?
Yeah, but none of them are for anything.
Oh, you don't actually have money out there?
No, not all of us are freaking gonna.
It's the tournament.
Have you seen that commercial? Is it Draft? I don't know if it's DraftKings or it's some betting app, and it's like the person getting out of bed every day and like placing different bets on all the different games. It reminds me of you every time it comes on.
I haven't bet in a while.
Oh, because the song is like all of it. The only thing it says, it's like, it's a surefire bet. It's a surefire bet. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Stop trying to get people to gamble all their money away because it's legal now. And it just makes me think of you. And I'm like, oh my God, Rob's going to lose all of his money during March Madness.
Why are you so angry? What's ringing?
I literally don't know.
This is ringing in my ears. I was like, wait a minute.
What is ringing?
I don't like this ringing in my ears.
Oh my God.
Don't ever make that noise again.
Oh my God, what's happening? Anyway.
I'm angry with you for that noise.
Okay, well, you can be angry with me for that noise all you want.
No, I got, that's what I was looking at. I got 4 brackets. 4 brackets. And then we do a cool pool where you pick 12 teams. And those 12 teams are yours throughout the tournament. And anytime one of your teams wins, you get as many points as the seed that they are. So it's like you don't want to pick the 1 seeds because you're only going to get a point for each round. Mm-hmm. But say you pick a 12 seed and they win 3 rounds, where you're going to get 36 points from that 12 seed.
Gotcha.
So I have my 12 teams here that I got to turn in later. I think I'm ready to go with the squads that I have. I have a couple 2s. I have 1 3, 1 4. And then 6s and 7s and 12s and 13s. And even a Belmont, the 11-seeded Belmont, is in there as well. I got to send them in after our show here today. But this tournament is going to be an interesting one because the way I look at it, like you might have craziness the first couple nights. So this first weekend might be crazy. You might see some upsets. But at the end of it, I really think you're going to see 1s and 2s, and that's it.
I just really think that both, I just think that both UNC and Duke are going to go far.
Yeah, I just think right now they're playing such good basketball, both teams.
Duke is just so good.
And it pisses me off because Carolina should have beat them 3 times this year. And they let that one get away in the ACC tournament, which I'm fine with, because what most people don't realize is in Roy Williams' 3 national title seasons with North Carolina, they have lost in the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Whenever they've won the ACC tournament, they have not had a chance at a national championship. So I'm okay with them losing in the ACC tournament. They lost by a point. All right, everyone said, oh, well, they're going to get waxed when Duke gets Zion back. They didn't get waxed. As a matter of fact, they had the game for a while and then kind of went a little cold, got a little stupid, and the last possession was not very good from Colby White. But you know that they have never met in the NCAA tournament, Duke and North Carolina.
What if they meet in the national championship game?
If you notice it, every year they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
Yeah.
It's almost like the committee's like, we want this to happen.
One day the stars will align.
And it's weird because normally people won't pick it, but you see a lot of people picking it because right now they're probably the best 2 teams in college basketball. I picked it in 1. And I picked Carolina to win, but I also picked, Duke to win in a pool. And I think they're not really a sleeper because they're a 2 seed, but this is the type of team that Tom Izzo and Michigan State can go on a run with. I mean, they can find ways to just win games and, get a shot at Duke again and knock them off.
I think I have Duke and Tennessee.
In the championship?
Yeah.
Tennessee could.
I have Duke winning. Well, I looked at where Tennessee is and who they're playing and who they would play. And, I mean, the way that they are located in the bracket based on who they've played and who they've beaten and how they've beaten people, I mean, I don't see them unless something goes wrong and they just
I actually have that championship too. And one of my I have Duke beating Tennessee.
Me too.
See that? Right on. See, that's that madness connection right there.
That's right here.
That's the bracket where I had all the 1s and 2s except for one, making it to actually I'm changing that now.
I hate doing that, but I just don't see any way it doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
can you imagine if Duke what happens to Duke would happen to Villanova a couple years ago?
What's that?
They just go out in the second round.
Duke's got, when you look at their run, their first difficult matchup could be Virginia Tech. From there, then they would either play an LSU or a Michigan State. Duke's got a pretty easy road, and they deserve it. They deserve the number 1 overall seed. They've played well all year. Where you look at Virginia might have to play higher seeds, but they got Tennessee, they got Purdue, they got a 6-seeded Villanova. I mean, they got a lot of teams in their bracket. Carolina, really, to me, it's Kentucky is who they got to concern themselves with. I think they can handle everybody else. Mm. And Gonzaga's got it tough.
Yeah.
Okay? Because Gonzaga's got Michigan. Gonzaga's got Florida State, Florida State's a team that could lose to Vermont in the first round or make a run to the Elite Eight. But at the end of the day, when I look at everybody and the way everything breaks out, the 1s and the 2s seem to be the ones that are going to be there in your Elite Eights, and it's going to be 1s and 2s in your Final Four. I don't love any 3 seed. Kind of like Houston.
Yeah, I'll say Houston.
Kind of like Texas Tech, but don't love either one of them. And then the other 2 3 seed, Purdue. I do this I never believe in Purdue. And they might make a run, and I might feel stupid about that. LSU I like, but they don't really have a coach right now. Their coach gets suspended towards the end of the year. You just don't know how that's going to play out. It will be very, very interesting. But I love a couple of the 12 seeds. Mm-hmm. And I love the 13 seed UC Irvine because they won 30 games this year. And I don't care who you're playing. You win 30 games in a year, you're pretty damn good. So, it will be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I think it's going to be a good year of good games, and I'm really excited. I think it'll be a good time. We actually did you see the notes that Andre just opened a Pro Sports Notes bracket for us?
No.
Bracket group on ESPN.
Did he really now?
Yes, he did. So I'm going to go do that. Last year we had one, and it was, I think, 3 people. I think it was me, Andre, and one more person. And it was a great time. But we'll hopefully have some more this time.
I thought I did one last year with the Madness group or the Pro Sports Notes group.
I don't remember. You might have been the third person. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
I'm trying to see, the schedule for games tomorrow. But I'm struggling. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here we go. It starts Yale and LSU is the first game at 12:40. About 40 minutes later, you'll have New Mexico State and Auburn. And then you'll have Vermont and Florida State. And then Michigan State will start. And then 4 o'clock, Kansas. That Nevada-Florida game will be a good one.
I'm excited for that one.
I've heard a lot about this Nevada team, but Florida's playing good basketball right now.
Love Florida.
Then you have Kentucky as 22-point favorites. I might have to reevaluate.
Stop it. Your wheels are turning over there.
I might have to reevaluate my Villanova selections because they're only 4.5-point favorites against St. Mary's.
Really?
Uh-huh. And the night, of course, it's a late game on a Thursday, but Wofford, Seton Hall. Wofford is a 7 seed. They've won 20 in a row. And all I keep hearing about is Seton Hall this, Seton Hall that. Guess what?
What?
Wofford wins.
Okay.
Lock it down.
Okay.
Over. Done.
Okay. I can't wait until they lose by 40. No, I really don't know. I just think it's funny when you say that and bad things happen.
So
I'm going to write that down. Rob says, what is it? Wofford, Seton Hall?
Yes. I did. I said this.
I believe the phrase was over, done, lock it in.
You got that there?
Yeah, I got it.
You got that there? All right, we are about 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
From a call. I'm going to do my only thing for This Is Madness right now because we're not going to have a lot of time after the interview because we're going to have to wrap up the show. I pride myself on being a basketball fan, and I pride myself on, knowing about the teams, especially located within the city of Philadelphia. What Temple did with Fran Dunphy, I thought was great. They gave him one more year, give him a victory lap, let him go out and kind of say goodbye to the game that he spent so many years being a part of.
Yeah.
St. Joe's has done the total opposite of that. And I understand that St. Joe's has not been winning games. I understand that they've had a few bad seasons in a row. But what Phil Martelli has done for basketball in the city of Philadelphia over 24 years at St. Joe's is more than just what happens on the court. It's what he's done in developing young men. It's what he's done to help out his community, whether it be with Coaches versus Cancer or just always lending a hand at camps and things of that nature. And to just downright fire him suddenly, in my opinion, is a huge disgrace. And it really makes me turn my nose up at St. Joe's for this.
Yeah. I mean, so from a personal aspect, so my one of my mom's cousins, my aunt, she died of colon cancer in 2011. And her father-in-law, Alan Rubin, is big in doing some of the scouting for Hoops Nation and doing the seating for a lot of stuff. And he's was always at, high school basketball games and things like that. So Fran Dunphy and Phil Martelli were at her viewing. And my cousins were 13 and 9 at the time, and they took some extra time to spend time with them and chat with them, and just like things like that. Like that's the kind of people that they were, and I absolutely agree with you. And I haven't talked to her about it yet, but my best friend Paige, she went to St. Joe's, and she's one of those the hawk will never die people.
Right.
She's one of those, and she posted an article about them firing Phil Martelli and just kind of said, thank you for everything, Phil. And I because she was on the dance team as well. So she was really involved with the basketball program. And so I haven't gotten a chance to talk to her about it yet, but I think, most people kind of feel the same way that you do.
Yeah. I just, listen, I understand that a change needed to be made and it was time to go in a different direction, but you do it and you say, hey, Phil, let one more year, and then you retire. We owe you that respect. Very similar with Fran Dunphy. Now, from what I've heard from other coaches, that Phil Martelli's a great guy to the public and everybody else, but he can be a hard-nosed guy sometimes. And maybe it did come that way, and he said no to that, but I don't think it did. I think that this was a new AD who wanted to, make his mark on St. Joe's, and I just think it was very tasteless and very disgraceful to, have his exit be this unceremonious.
Yeah.
And that's just my issue with it. I just was not at all happy with the way the university handled this. And you heard some of the other coaches talk about it. You heard Fran Dunphy talk about it before his game last night. You heard Jay Wright break down on Coach K's podcast about it. Literally got emotional about the whole thing, and that's Villanova, St. Joe's. I mean, people that go to the schools, hate each other. Absolutely, that's an Eagles Cowboys type of hate.
It's big.
So it shows you the legacy he's left behind,
right?
And I just wish it would have ended in a different way.
I'm with you. I agree.
So that's that. Did you want to do one of your This Is Madness while we have time?
I do. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah, just remember, wait a minute, I'm going to preface this. I'm the dramatic one on Twitter. Just remember, guys, I am the dramatic one. Not our friend Jess. Me, Rob Lange, is the dramatic one on Twitter. Go ahead, Jess, what's your This Is Madness?
I just have giant problems with some things, and one of my issues is I personally am hard-pressed to find something dumber on the front of a sports jersey than freaking Buzz City. I get it. They're the Hornets, like a bee, you know, buzz, buzz. But it says Buzz City on the front of their jerseys. And it's on the court. It says Buzz City on the court. It's so stupid. Hey, do not cut me off. Let me rant. I am so annoyed about it. I'm so, and I had a couple people respond to my tweet just saying things like when Cleveland put the land on the front. Yes, also stupid, but at least it was taken out of the name that's typically on the front of the jerseys. There are some things that I agree are dumb. This has to be the dumbest thing I have ever seen. Buzz City. That is so stupid. It makes me upset how stupid that is. That's all. That's it. Just so stupid. Just so stupid.
Oh my God.
I saw that and I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me right now. That is so horrible. Like, oh my God.
I'm just letting you keep going. It just makes it funnier the more you keep going. I don't understand why it bothers you so much.
Because it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid.
The ears again.
Yeah, you'll live. It's just so stupid. Also, the fam jumping in as well. My brother worked with Rob Sullivan, who coached at St. Joe's, was one of the assistant coaches there for a little while. He's not there anymore, but he he pretty much ran all like the summer camps and stuff they did. My brother did St. Joe's basketball camp a couple summers in a row, and he also worked with my brother. My brother went and did like some private sessions with him over the summers to work on his shooting and stuff like that for high school. And my parents went to Sully's wedding. I guess it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They sat with Phil Martelli at the wedding, and they just said he's a gem, true gentleman. Phil was all about creating better men through manners and respect.
And that's what I mean. And because of that, I think he deserved a little bit more respect on the way out.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that a coaching change probably wasn't needed there, but there was a better way to do this.
There was a better way to go about it than, him having to call his players on the phone and be like, hey, I'm not your coach anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
I mean, it just wasn't right.
No, I agree.
So, all right. So we are waiting any minute now. Fingers crossed for Andrew McCutchen, Phillies left fielder, right? He'll be the left fielder if Bryce will be in right. And a dude will be in center. So, former MVP in 2012, 2013? What year did he win the MVP?
2013.
2013 MVP. Played last year with the Giants and then the Yankees.
A few minutes, 1 to 2 minutes early. Have a 12-minute hard out before to get him into another interview.
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
We got 12 minutes with him. We will do our best.
I figured I'd check my email just to see if I got anything from his rep, and I'm glad I did.
And you did.
Yeah.
12-minute hard out. I feel like we're like professional now with like these terms. Like, oh, we got a 12-minute hard. Although I don't like that term.
I don't like it either. But.
You love that term. Look at you. Look at how goofy you're getting over that term. It is time to grow up, Jess. You're like my students now. We are professionals. We are about to interview Andrew frickin' McCutchen.
You're damn right we are.
Unless it's some like mimicking Andrew McCutchen.
Stop it.
No, the funny thing is, like, I listened to an interview of his earlier today, and I was like, oh, no one can mimic that voice. Like, he's got a very distinct voice.
We'll be fine. We're good. Everything is fine.
Breathe, Jess.
I'm excited.
Look at
this
you.
Is pretty cool.
Look at you, Jess. You are.
I'm excited. This is pretty cool.
I'm with you.
Don't try to make this excitement into something other than what it is, because I will get yelled at. I can't work.
Jess, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now.
All right. Anyway, I'm excited. This will be fun.
Well, if it's 1 to 2 minutes early, it should be like right now.
Yeah, I know. Just sit here and.
Should we just sit here and stare at the cameras until then? But I don't know. We've really talked about literally everything we want to talk about today.
Yeah, we planned this out pretty well.
Andrew Ndiaye, did you like that signing by the Eagles?
I did.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good one for a third safety. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, people are ripping him because of one play when LeGarrette Blount ran him over.
Yeah, but let's keep in mind he led up that year. It was like quarterbacks had like a 59.2 passer rating against him.
Well, with that, Jess, it is time. We are very pleased here at the Madness to be welcoming our new left fielder here for the Philadelphia Phillies, former MVP, Andrew McCutchen. Andrew, thank you so much for being on the Madness with Rob and Jess.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Andrew, we first of all, welcome to Philly, man. We are stoked about having you here and getting baseball back to just that happy times that we've had here in the past. What's your early thoughts been so far with fan interaction down in Clearwater and being around the team and all that?
Oh, man, it's been amazing. Everyone's, of course, they're excited about to see, what the Phillies have done this offseason. And, you can definitely feel, everyone just you can just feel the hypeness, man. The hypeness of the team, the hypeness of the fans. It's fun times, man, down here in Clearwater. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting up there to Philly and getting the thing started.
So you've gotten a little bit of a taste of the Philly fans down in Clearwater. What are your expectations for when you get to come up here and finally get to play in Citizens Bank Park, not as a player on the opposing team?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure anyone that's been on the other side definitely told you, being in Philly on the other side, on the business side, man, it's tough. So the fans are on top of you. They stay on you, and sometimes they can make you mad. But that's a part of it, and they do their job. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fun being on the other side, and I'm looking forward to it.
Andrew, when you come into a situation like this team who has seemed to be turned the corner here and now they're becoming contenders, how can you as a veteran, show that leadership to these guys and show these young guys what it's going to take to win over a long, rolling 162-game season?
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it because, sometimes, you need guidance through this game. This game can be difficult. It can be hard. It's very long. You're playing 162 regular season games. I like to be able to help guys in ways that I can help. And I think with me and acquisition and the additions of a lot of other guys, veteran guys, we're going to be able to all help each other just get through the season. So sometimes that's the hardest thing. When I was first in the big leagues, man, the hardest thing was, man, how do I get through 162 regular season games without giving out? Like, what do I need to do to prepare myself? Like, how do I stay positive? How do I, do these things? So, it's going to be great that we can help each other. And, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that.
Kind of following along with that, obviously the Phillies have done a lot this offseason, signing you, trading for JT Realmuto, adding Bryce Harper, extending Nola, trading for Gene Segura. I know it's early, but in that, 162-game season and beyond, where do you guys really see yourselves being and going this season?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, we have to think about, at the end, of course, we want to be able to win the World Series. But the way we do that is by taking care of business right now, being where our feet are, man. Our feet are here in Clearwater right now, so we need to do what we can to be able to prepare ourselves to get ready for the season. And we just need to do that every single day, have that approach every single day. And, and then we'll be able to look back on it at the end of the game 162 and say, all right, we're in the position that we need to be in to win this thing. So we definitely see ourselves at the end and at the top, but we got to take care of business and handle that right now, being where our feet are, and just go from there.
We're talking to Phillies left fielder Andrew McCutchen. And Andrew, it's being reported that you're going to be batting leadoff. How comfortable are you with that, and what kind of damage do you think you could do from that position?
I mean, definitely, man. Leadoff is great. Sometimes it can take something you're used to because, sometimes you get home and you're in the outfield. You can run the ball down the gap, then you got to run it all the way back into the dugout to get yourself ready for that first AB. But it's a great spot to be in, starting things off, but also being a threat and in that leadoff spot, knowing the pitcher can't just lay a fastball right down the middle, knowing he has to lock in from pitch one. I feel like that can be an advantage for us as a team. It can be an advantage for me as a hitter, and I'm looking forward to that. I had a lot of fun with it when I was in the Yankees lineup last year, leading things off for the team, and I'm looking forward to doing that for a full season this year.
When it comes to your manager, Gabe Kapler, a lot of Phillies fans are still sort of on the fence with, their opinions of Kapler and, if they think he's the right guy here. What would you say to some of those people? What are some things that, maybe the fans don't typically see that, gives you guys the confidence in Gabe and what he's doing for the organization?
Kapler is amazing. He's a guy who he understands the game. He understands the concept of everything that we do, and he looks at us like we're. I'm trying to put it in a sense of like we're adults. He treats us like we're adults, like we know what we need to do. We're big leaguers, go out there and get the job done, and I respect him for that because he's played the game before and he knows what it feels like. He manages the game, but he knows it's up to us to go out there and win that thing. So that's what I do respect about him, and I love that about him. He comes to me. We have great deal of respect for each other, and he just tells me, "Hey, man, whatever you need, let me know." And if I have something that I need to get out, I'll get it out. That's what he tells me, and that's great. That's all you can ask for from a manager.
Hey, Andrew, when you guys went down to spring training, there was a certain member of your team that wasn't a member yet, and rumors were flying around all spring about Bryce Harper. Will he come to the Phillies? Will he not come? The news comes down, and I'm just curious, what was the reaction like in your clubhouse at that point when everybody realized Bryce Harper's going to be with us this year?
Yeah, people have asked me that question before, and I always tell them, well, there was no one in the clubhouse when it actually happened. I was like, there was a game going on,
right.
game going on. I was inside the clubhouse. My day was over, and I was getting ready to leave, and then the news came out. My wife was actually the one to tell me because I had no clue. So we were actually the ones having a conversation about it, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then I went and grabbed my son, and it kind of, people say it kind of spiraled to people. You got one person into the next as the game went on, and you hear one person coming in, one guy be screaming, the next guy be like, "Yeah, that's sick," there's a couple high fives, guys are, really pumped about it. We were all excited that, this is the place that he chose, ultimately, and, just happy to be a part of that. There were 29 other teams he could have went to. He chose Philly, and, we're definitely excited that he's a part of this team.
Now that, he's finally down there, you guys are pretty much whole as a team, everyone's kind of in their role. What are some of the things that you've seen, on and off the field during spring training as it's sort of coming to a close that's going to help to translate to success in the regular season?
Just everybody putting their work in. Everybody getting the work in that they need to get in. That's what it's all about. That's what spring training is about. Getting your work in so you can get yourself prepared for the season. Everyone's doing that. They have a plan. They have a game plan. You don't see guys not necessarily knowing what they need to do. Guys are here. They're hungry. They're hungry because of last year and how it went, and they're doing what they need to do to get themselves ready. And that's exciting just to look around and see everybody working, regardless if they got 1 year or if they got 10 years in. Everybody's getting their work in. And that's what we got to do. What we got to do as a whole, as a team, as a unit, to be able to move forward, push forward, and ultimately get that championship.
Talking with Phillies left fielder Andrew McCutchen. Andrew, you've been in the league now for 10, 11 years, and you've seen a lot. And now one of the big new trends is the analytics trend, and it's really changing the game in a lot of different ways. And you have the shifts, and I know that you've seen a couple times where there's been 4 outfielders out there. What's your feelings about analytics and how they're being used in baseball now?
They're good for certain things. It's good. They're there to help you. But at the same time, there's a lot of things in it that, analytics can't, they can't put down on a sheet of paper. You can't, a person's grit, or a person that's been around for some time who has some seasoning. Maybe he's a career 250 hitter, but in the moment when the game counts, he comes through. Look at the guys in the World Series, guys who are getting the big hits. Look at the Steve Pearces of the past. Look at guys like that in those situations to where, maybe the analytics may say something that's not great, but in those moments, analytics can't say like, what's his heart rate, how's he feeling? Is he confident in this moment? There's certain things that analytics can't do.
Right.
So I do like it, but it's definitely not the answer for everything.
Andrew, it looks like from the outside that, the culture of this team is really positive, and guys are really excited about the season and getting along really well and really enjoying, what's going on so far. When it compares to some of the other places you've been, how does this kind of camaraderie in the clubhouse sort of match up, and, how do you think that can carry you a little bit through a really long, grueling season?
Well, I definitely had my share of moments. I've had teams that have lost 100. I've been a part of teams that's almost won 100. I think the biggest thing and the biggest key to that, one, you got to have the talent on the team, but you also got to work together as a unit and as a team. And I think this team has that. And it's not like we have the answer. We're that that team, and we're all meshing together well. That takes time. That takes seasoning. But as long as each guy knows that I have your back, and the next guy to me knows I have his back right now, that's what matters. And then we'll develop that trust with each other as the season goes on. And then that's how you win, and when you work together as a team. And, we have that. I definitely feel like we have that here. And, it's exciting, man. It's like I said, man, everybody's hungry. Everybody's ready to get the season started, but we still got some business to take care of with these last few games.
Andrew, I know you got to go, but before you go, I just want to ask you, next Thursday, you come home, you're home in front of the Citizens Bank Park crowd, as we said, as a home player, no longer a visiting player. Just talk about what your emotions are going to be as you take the field to start that game next week.
Every opening day is like no other. There's only one opening day, and so you can't recreate it. There's only one of them, and always cherish each one that I've had. So this being my 10th one, I'm looking forward to it, and it's definitely a day that I cherish. It's the beginning of the season, and I can't wait, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Definitely going to have the jitters, definitely going to be nervous. But it's a good thing to have. Just want to go out there, perform well, and be ready to get that W.
Andrew McCutchen, left fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies. We can't thank you enough for coming on with us, giving us a few minutes, and good luck finishing up down there in Clearwater. And we'll see you up here in Philly soon, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, and that's Andrew McCutchen from the Philadelphia Phillies. And from everything he said, he's the type of leader you want in this locker room, right? Talking about working together as a team, putting in the work now, he even said when he first came in the league, how are we going to do that? How am I going to do this for 162 games?
Yeah.
And he knows that getting a strong work ethic from the beginning of spring training until now plays a role in that. And we thank Andrew McCutchen. So years from now, when we become super famous, me and Jess, and there's a trivia, who was the first player interview they ever did? You will remember the answer of Andrew McCutchen.
Andrew McCutchen.
Left fielder for the 5 times World Series champion Phillies, because that's how many they're going to win.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that's how many.
I didn't know where we were going with that, but yeah.
That's where I was going.
Hell yeah.
Look at that, Jess. Jess, for all those moments where we thought we had a guest and we're like sitting here and we're going, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
They're not here.
They're not coming, or what just happened here? I think all those moments have just been made up with the 2 guests that we had here today.
Yeah, those were good ones.
And I want to once again thank Remy Ndiaye for coming on, especially when a lot of
he's got a few things to do.
Crazy things are going on over in Sixers world tonight. And obviously want to thank Andrew McCutchen for joining us as well here tonight. And the FAM is his marketing company. I want to throw them a shout out for
what is it? I texted you what it was.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm in the process of dying.
You're making it. You're doing great.
Let's see.
Full Athlete Marketing. That's what it is.
Full Athlete Marketing. I want to thank them for helping set this up and keep everything moving there. And hopefully, I know we got him off in time to get to his next interview. Yep. We got him off the air here. So that was fantastic stuff. All right. Let's have some final thoughts here, Jess.
Okay.
By the time we come on next week, the Sixers will have played the Boston Celtics. Obviously. We will probably... What I'm going to try and do next week is try and get a guest that I have been in touch with because with opening day being the day after this show, even though the podcast won't come out till Friday, I think it'll be a good time to really ramp up a little baseball preview.
Sounds good.
See if the Eagles make any more moves this week. What else can happen? Flyers will be out of the playoffs by then.
Probs.
They're on their way out after their loss last night.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
What a goddamn shame that is.
You seem pretty damn upset today when you saw a picture of Wayne Simmons.
That did make me sad. Like, I'm not a hockey person. I will never claim to be a hockey person, but that did make me sad. Like, as a Philadelphia fan, that made me upset. I didn't like that.
I don't understand why people get like...
It didn't look right.
Oh, real quick before we get out of here, here's my final thought. You jackasses that are mad at Mike Trout for taking a $430 million deal when he never, ever, ever was supposed to come here, get over yourselves.
I told y'all he wasn't making it to free agency.
And also, when me and Jess sat here and said, we need to sign Bryce Harper because we can't take that risk.
I told you so.
This is why. And also, Mike Trout should probably thank Bryce Harper because I don't know if that deal gets done this quickly without Bryce pushing hard.
Did you see it was like Bryce Harper grades? It's like batting A, fielding A, tampering F.
Hey, I ain't mad at him, no. I ain't mad at him.
No.
All right. Great show. Thank you to Remy Ndiaye. Thank you to Andrew McCutchen. Thank you to Jessica Town, Wildfire Radio, Pro Sports Notes. We love you all. We'll see you next week. Embrace the madness.